MLB DFS Playbook podcast and live stream, giving you our first look here at Friday's 13-game main slate. James, we've hit the end of the work week here. Every Friday, we get a pretty big slate here, 13 games to close out.
Yeah, big slate, 13 games, no Coors Field. That is glorious. We do have Tampa Bay and Fenway with some potential rain, Minnesota with some potential rain. No Wrigley Field that we have to worry about. So nothing really that's really going to hinder us. It's whether or not we're going to play the Twins. Pretty much every slate is the only thing getting in our way at this point, John.
Yeah.
Probably not going to after 3 of their top 4 hitters left the game on Thursday. But happy Friday to you. And let's dive into the odds here that we have for Friday. Zach Wheeler is a minus 190 road favorite. Luis Castillo minus 125 road favorite. Bailey Ober and the Minnesota Twins minus 140 at home. Minus 155 for Michael Wacha at home. And minus 150 for Logan Webb against the Orioles. Minus 140 for Clayton Kershaw hosting the Yankees. When you look at some over-unders that we have, Boston, is there an announced starter for Boston here?
I can't remember how. Oh, no.
Garrett Whitlock.
Oh, yeah, Garrett Whitlock. Yeah, he came back from the IL against Arizona.
Garrett Whitlock and Tyler Glasnow in a 9 over-under in Fenway Park. 9 implied runs in Colorado and Kansas City. 9 implied runs in Atlanta, Arizona. 9, and that's it. Just 9 implied runs is the most on the board. So we don't really have anything of much significance to talk about in terms of Vegas.
Yeah, that rain in Boston is kind of interesting for 2 reasons. One, it's supposed to start at 5 o'clock Eastern, and it doesn't stop raining until the next day. So
that's not a good sign.
They're going to have to play through rain, but the Red Sox this year, for whatever reason, actually scheduled a doubleheader on their calendar. So Saturday, the Red Sox and Rays are actually playing a doubleheader by schedule.
Wait, schedule? You said schedule.
They scheduled the doubleheader. So intentionally put a doubleheader on their schedule.
Is that a thing that they're trying out?
Yeah, I guess a couple of teams have done it. The Red Sox are dipping their toe in that water this year. Okay. So they can't even, if this game gets postponed on Friday, they can't even play a doubleheader on Saturday because they're already playing a doubleheader on Saturday. I guess they could play a doubleheader on Sunday, but that's to be seen. But yeah, Red Sox and Rays are playing at 1 o'clock Saturday and then again at 6 o'clock on Saturday intentionally, not due to a game being postponed. They scheduled the doubleheader to be played. So, but yeah, listen, looking at weather.com, hourly forecast, I know this can change obviously throughout the day as we get closer to that. But starting at 5 o'clock, we have 65% chance of rain. It pretty much stays that way all the way through the next morning. Thunderstorms, rain, showers, and kind of mixing it in there. So that game probably closer to steal a symbol from our guy Kevin Roth there over at guys. Maybe an orange. Maybe we're looking at an orange, a red orange day here in Boston. So obviously we'll have to have everybody updated that when we go live at 5 o'clock Eastern. But just to keep that on the radar, that this game they may try to play through it because the doubleheader, at least for this weekend, is already scheduled. So. All right, let's get into pitching here. Shohei Ohtani and Framber Valdez, your top 2 guys up over 10K, facing off against one another here. Framber was supposed to pitch on Thursday, got pushed over to Friday. Maybe they wanted to match up Framber against Ohtani, give him a better chance to steal that game. Who knows? Logan Webb against Baltimore at $9,700 here at home. Luis Castillo at $94. Zach Wheeler, $92. Clayton Kershaw, $9K. Those are your top 6 starting pitchers, $9K and above.
Yeah, obviously Ohtani and Framber are both elite options if you want to get there. Ohtani 4 double-digit strikeout games already this year. Framber has a 8-inning, 1-run, 12 strikeout game against the Angels already on his resume this year, and we know quality start machine. He's back at it again this year. Every other, all but 1 quality start, 2. His first start of the year, which he didn't allow a run, and he was just held back, and then 4 runs against the Cubs every other start. So 9 quality starts already this year. Get to either. I'm okay getting to Logan Webb. He's been quite good this year, pretty much from the outsets
Yeah.
when he had 12 strikeouts against the Yankees. I think the strikeouts have been the biggest surprise. Had another 11 strikeouts against Milwaukee. I'd be okay getting there. Luis Castillo, has been really, really good in his last 2 starts. But Pittsburgh and Oakland were his 2 opponents.
Right.
When he faced tougher opponents, 5 earned against Boston over 5.
Did have
Lo-
9 strikeouts against Texas in
he
that one
did. He
start.
did. But he lost and couldn't get out past 5 innings, and we're paying
Was this the
$9,400.
slate we faded Castillo when he was super chalk?
Maybe, possibly.
Feels like it
He's
might have.
seemingly always popular.
Yeah.
I could definitely see myself getting to Zach Wheeler coming off his best performance of the year, 8 scoreless, 12 earned. We've talked about it a lot this year and last year, honestly. Washington is a pretty good offense. So if you don't want to attack them, that's fine. But 9,200 feels really good. And then Kershaw kind of hitting a little skid, but we know St. Louis has very potent bats against lefties. Same with Tampa; they're the number 1 offense against lefties. Yankees aren't that team right now after Glaber and Judge, so I'd be okay getting to Kershaw at 9K, who currently is one of the odds-on favorite to win Cy Young in the NL.
Yeah, I think for me, I look at Wheeler as well. They just don't strike out. That's like the biggest worry there. And then, no Cedric Mullins for Baltimore. We generally like that offense more against lefties than righties. So Logan Webb at home even certainly sticks out. Tier below, Merrill Kelly at 87 against Atlanta at home. Justin Verlander at home against Toronto. Bailey Ober gets Cleveland here at $8,400. Chris Bassett, little revenge game there, $8,100 against the Mets. And then Aaron Savale coming off the IL to go up against Minnesota, who you mentioned. Minnesota tonight losing Kepler, Buxton, and Correa all in the same game here. So that lineup tomorrow, they just set down Julian. Is he just going to push the bus around? Come on back,
honestly. I don't know if I like much here. I guess what version of Justin Verlander do we get?
Sure.
Because he's been really good and really bad in alternating starts at this point. Really good against Cincinnati, really bad against Tampa, really good against Cleveland, really bad in cores, but that happens.
I like Bailey
it's
Ober
probably here. Bailey Ober for me.
I know Cleveland's offense is starting to come about a bit, but I still believe in Ober, I think, here at home.
Yeah. I would say Ober is the clear cut guy here. And then if you want to take a shot on Verlander, that's probably it.
Tier down, Tyler Glasnow made his return. He was on a little bit of a limit there, 83 pitches against the Dodgers, but 8 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings.
Yeah.
We know that elite upside there. Charlie Morton against Arizona, another strikeout pitcher. Josiah Gray gets John Gray gets Seattle here. Michael Wacha against the Cubs. Luis Severino against the Dodgers.
I mean, talk about elite talent down here, right? These guys, these are all 9K pitchers that we're getting at discounts because injuries and what. Glasnow is an elite talent. If you want to go there, if there's fine, it's fine in terms of just strikeout upside at 7,900. Same thing with Severino, very tough spot, but really good pitcher at $7,100. That's kind of silly. But I really like Charlie Morton here. We like Arizona's offense a lot. Charlie Morton just continues to be really good outside of a start against the Dodgers. He's been excellent this year. There's been multiple starts that he's had 9 or more strikeouts. 3 times he's done that this year. 3 times he's put up 30 fantasy points. So I think Charlie Morton for me is the guy in this tier. But I would play multiple lineups. Glasnow and Severino just have upside because they're 9K pitchers that are priced. Because Severino has made 2 starts since returning. Glasnow has made 1. Eventually, these guys are going to be much higher priced.
Yep, I agree with you. Tier down from there, Josiah Gray against Philly, Flaherty against Pittsburgh here. Dean Kramer's against San Francisco at $6,700. Clevenger off the IL against Detroit. Garrett Whitlock made his return last start against Tampa. Any of these value guys appeal to you here?
Flaherty probably is the most appealing. He's been pretty good, and Pittsburgh, for what they were earlier in the year, now just in possession of a 716 team OPS against right-handed pitching. That's 18th in the league. A little slightly worse than average in terms of strikeouts too. So yeah, I guess Flaherty under 7K would be probably the one guy that I'd have that piques my interest.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well. I don't think we need to go really any lower here. Catcher position. Again, big slate, so plenty of options to choose from here. Name out some of your favorites at the top tier.
Salvi against Chase Anderson. Anderson's supposed to start on Thursday. Did not. Got pushed back for Seabold. Now Salvi's been hitting righties, as you've mentioned a lot on this program. So I like Salvi quite a bit at the top. Elias Diaz hits righties this very well. Jordan Lyles gives up a lot of home runs. So both catchers in that game. Then I would just kind of zoom on down to Francisco Alvarez. Chris Bassett has been struggling a lot, and Alvarez has done all of his damage against right-handed pitching. I'm just going to get it out there. El Gary did it again on Thursday, homered for a second straight game, had a 2 RBI single as well. 4 RBIs and 2 home runs in his first 2 games with the Padres, hitting 6th. I assume they would just go right back to well, and Jameson Taillon has been horrible. Like, he's been dreadful. So I would go to El Gary, 3,300 if he's going to continue to hit. Yan Gomes, unfortunately, has a righty on the mound. That's not fun.
It's probably not a lot down here. So
yeah, I don't think we need to really force either. I mean, we have Alvarez. We'll also see lineups. Whoever, we'll see what comes out later in the day as well.
100%. Let's go over to first base here then. Looking at some matchups here, I think Goldschmidt at 56 we'll play up here a little bit as well. But then the rest of the tier isn't like, I think you could probably try Tampa against Whitlock. Whitlock,
yes,
much better reliever than starter. They keep trying to make him a starter because they need him to, but Yandy here at 48. We didn't mention Betancourt, but you could probably use Betancourt at catcher as well. Like Tampa against Boston, if that game plays, I think it's pretty interesting.
Agreed. That's the elephant in the room is the weather, so we'll TBD on that.
Mid tier, where are we? Who's your top of picks here? Pasquantino 36, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think there's much above him either. Just like going through.
Yeah, some tough matchups for guys that we generally play. Mountcastle, Lowe, Walker.
So Reese Olson is starting for Detroit here. He has a 6.38 ERA in 36 innings at AAA this year. A 1.77 WHIP. I guess he's been better over his last 6 starts with a 3 ERA, but like 6.77 ERA and we're getting the call, or 6.38 ERA, we're getting the call. Like, what are we doing? We don't have anyone better. So like Andrew Vaughn, 3,700, has been historically good against lefties, coming in smoking hot. 3 straight multi-hit games, 4 in his last 7 game hit streak going. A lot of RBIs over that span for Andrew Vaughn. So a guy hitting 350 with 1,000 OPS over his last 10. I'll go Andrew Vaughn and Pasquantino for me in this mid tier. And Luke Raleigh is always a home run threat.
Yeah.
As well.
Yep. I agree with you there as well. Moustakas versus Lyles. What the one thing we say about Lyles all the time, James?
Home runs. Fly balls. Same thing can be said for Nolan. Put a pair Moustakas and Nolan Jones in the same category there.
Yeah, 100% there. Big time potential power for that there. And you can play the Kansas City guys as well. We mentioned Pasquantino, but Prado also kind of fits into the bill there. Anybody else for you?
No.
Would you play Torque? Play Torkelson against 500?
He's been okay.
Okay. It's been okay.
He's been okay. We're not getting as much power as I think we thought we were going to at Torkelson. I think a lot of people thought he was going to be 25 to 30 home runs, and that's just not the case. But I'll probably pass here on
Okay.
Torkelson.
Second base position. Again, usual suspects are up here at the top of tough matchups. Simeon, Betts, Torres, Altuve, Marte, even with a tough spot. Does that just kind of, again, put you in on Nolan Gorman here at 49, potentially? Horner, 48. Brandon Lau at 46.
Yeah. And Ronzi has been way worse against lefties. Another spot that Nolan Gorman should be able to take advantage of. 283 average allowed, 810 OPS, 347 WOBA. I would say the only problem is that St. Louis just doesn't have a lot of lefties to throw at him. So Gorman just feels best as a one-off. But
Sure.
yeah, that feels like a great play. So does Brandon Lau. Jorge Polanco made his return and led off on Thursday. That, if he's in the leadoff spot again, 4,500 feels pretty good against Aaron Savale. So those probably would be the three targets. Jake Cronenworth, if San Diego's offense is gonna wake up because Gary Sanchez arrived and that's what they needed, then I'm in on them because Jameson Taillon has been horrible this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. He has not been good. It definitely has not been good. Mid-tier guys, who are we targeting for lineups here for you?
Jeff McNeil, lefties have killed Chris Bassett. That has been just the underlying issue with him. So McNeil's going to hit third, right in the middle of that lineup, 3,700. That's really it. I'd probably just go down to the mid tier or to the value tier and maybe take a shot on Rougned Odor, who, slow down a little bit, but he didn't play on Thursday, so I can't really fault him for that. Adam Frazier's 2,800 if you want to punt, but not the best. Sure. Harold Castro, 2 hits on Thursday if you want to go there. Right, yeah. And our boy Romy Gonzalez, who,
yes.
And our boy Romy Gonzalez, who homered in 3 straight games.
Mind lately.
Yeah.
What price are there? It's
2,400. Yeah.
Obviously, tough day on 2 days ago against the Angels here, but 3 straight games at a homer and then a stolen bag as well. Pretty wild. Third base position here. Devers, Ramirez, Jung, Arenado, Muncy, all these top guys here. Riley, Bregman, but none of them really have a good matchup to target. Arenado's been trash, so I mean, best pitcher matchup, but not great form.
Yeah, and even to the point that Ronzi has been just significantly worse against lefties. He's been shutting righties down. So it just might be a spot we stay away up here. That's okay. That's okay. We need some positions to spend down on.
Yep, I agree with you 100%. Mid-tier guys, again, I think Ryan McMahon against Lyles at $4,600. The way he's been swinging the bat, I know he's on a course in this one, but had a good night on Thursday. You mentioned Olsen, so Moncada there at $4,300 could find a spot into some lineups here as well for stacking White Sox, which we tend to do.
we love the AL Central.
Yeah, the AL Central, man. We're a big fan. We played Kansas City a lot for a period of time there. So
sure have.
So those guys are in the mid tier range. Anybody else for you? Any value guys for you here? Beatty, I guess you like, right? You lefties.
Yeah. McKinstry, I would just give a shot at 4K. I think McKinstry's pretty good. Brett Beatty, Royce Lewis just homered for his second of the year. Just literally this second to tie the game. Royce Lewis home run.
It's $3,100.
$3,100 for no reason other than he's just coming back.
Jake Berger with power.
Jake Berger for a home run. I'm and what was so do you remember last year? It was on the road against lefties. That was the Josh Donaldson MO last year. The problem is, welcome back, you get Clayton Kershaw. So probably not the spot, but it is worth monitoring if the road stats for Josh Donaldson continue, because he had been significantly better on the road than he was. He just hasn't even played a road game this year. He got hurt too early. So I think there's pretty decent value. I don't think we need to get to Josh Donaldson.
Okay. I'll throw Casey Schmidt there at 3K as well in that mix here. Anybody else that I'm that down here that I may be missing?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Let's go on over to the shortstop position then here. Shortstop position here, we have a Seager at the top. Witt, Turner, Bichette. Where are you finding yourself going to?
I mean, you could definitely play Seager against Castillo. I think that's fine. Bichette, look, we don't know what Verlander is going to show up. So if you want to play, Bichette, you can. He homered in the first inning of Thursday's game and then did nothing else the rest of the game. First at bat, home run. But he continues to hit well. You can play Lindor because Bassett struggles against lefties. Tim Anderson gets a gas can making his debut. And then it's like, well, you're just dipping your toes back into like pretty much the value that we talked about.
Yeah.
I will say Tovar homered off a righty on Thursday. So you could throw him into the mix. We've talked about it a couple times. The Rockies are better against righties than they are lefties. Tovar hit his second home run. I mean, Jordan Lyles 381 WOBA to righties. And we know, Colorado has a bunch of them. I would throw Tovar into the mix of him, Royce Lewis, Casey Schmidt. Nato gets a lefty if you want to play that. Not my favorite spot. I guess the one other name I'd throw out there, if Pittsburgh starts Tucupita Marcano, John,
sure,
he's been pretty good.
Yeah, he had good splits that I looked at the other day.
Yeah, and the other day, 3 for 4, 2 doubles. He's this month, in the last 10 days, twice he has homered and stolen a base in the same game.
Yeah.
So that's serious upside, $2,100.
Sure. I definitely don't mind that. For those watching, we all just realized that the screen was frozen. So we have that fixed. Apologize for the first couple of positions there where we were looking at a draft screen that was moving, but it was not moving on the video for all of you. So apologies for that. But the information remains the same here, just lack of the visual effects here on the first 4 positions. But you know what? You get shortstop, you get outfield, and more importantly, you'll get our lineup construction there that you'll all get to go ahead and see. James, let's go on to the outfield here. Ronald Acuna, Aaron Judge, top guys here, Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Fernando Tatis, Mookie Betts, Julio Rodriguez. Talk to me, man. On big slates like this, we always just say, like, find your stack and put the best player in it. Generally, that comes from the outfield.
Yeah, I think that stack for me today is going to be the San Diego Padres. Fernando Tatis kind of had his breakout performance on Thursday. 3 for 4, 3 doubles, 2 runs scored, 4 ribbies, a walk, a stolen base. And we know he's just like a ball of flames when he gets going. Juan Soto is all the way back for me. 321 over his last 10 games, over 1,000 OPS. He's not striking out as much as he was earlier in the year. He's taking a lot of walks again. So Soto and Tatis for me right off the rip. Look, Jameson Taillon's just been bad. As much as, he's been a serviceable pitcher for years and he had a really tough life up to it and he battled back from some really incredible things. Some people just get old overnight. And lefties against Jameson Taillon this year, 351 average, an 1,100 OPS, 469 WOBA for left-handed bats. He's just not getting people out. And I know it's a good pitching environment. I don't care when we know San Diego's offense is going to pick it up. And if Thursday was any indication of what's to come, Soto and Tatis are in for big games here. So I would say those two are my favorite options. I'd even go to Morel. I know Morel's been bad of late. I would go to him on the flip side of this game. And Waka's kind of been good, but Christopher Morel we know has a serious upside. And then it's like Luis Robert, 53, obviously an elite play. The Yankees are also getting Giancarlo Stanton back so like the lineup is going to look better than it has in some time.
Don't think I'm challenging with Kershaw.
No.
Moving forward, that they're going to get some guys back there. JD Martinez, do you throw against Severino?
throw him against, gosh dang, a robot arm. Like if the robot was throwing 200 miles an hour, I might still use JD Martinez, dude. He is one for, even in his down game, 1 for 3, double, 2 walks. Like he's just doing everything. Now Severino's looked really good since coming back, so maybe you don't go there, but I have no problems if that's where you end up. None. He's been awesome. So if that's where we're gonna end up, that's where we're gonna end up. And I think you're gonna be happy with a 4,900 JD Martinez.
Yeah. Again, if Tampa Bay Boston plays, I like the Tampa Bay side. Josh Lowe, $4,700. I think plays. Other guys in this mid-tier, Charlie Blackmon came back into their lineup tonight, had a hit. Could see him going up against Lyles as a possible spot in that mid-tier as well. Let's see here. Other guys down below. Grichuk, again, just keep rattling off guys against Lyles. I guess you can't really go wrong with that. Eloy at 4K.
Yeah. You know what? Congrats, DraftKings. Thankfully, he's 4K. I know, like, it was easy for us to plug and play, but, like, enough's enough, right? Like, make this guy, like, 4,500. He's still too cheap, truthfully. Eloy 4K. And then probably the Mets guys, 37-36 against Bassett. Luke Raleigh, we mentioned. Yastrzemski, 35 against Dean Kramer. Could be interesting.
Jordan Walker recalled.
Yeah,
Jordan. Yeah, $3,300.
Yeah, they need him because their offense has been terrible. 542 WOB over or slug in AAA over his last 2 weeks. Surprise, surprise, right?
Yeah. McCarthy's 31 still, cheap there.
Yep. Nolan Jones, I'd get to a lot of Colorado. Not that I'd be like wanting to stack them, but I would have a lot of interest in Colorado just because Jordan Lyles allows so much power.
Okay. Akil Badeau has been absolutely ridiculous lately too. He's got Clement.
Dude, he sure has. They hit him like second too. With Riley Green hitting the IL, they were hitting him second.
Yeah.
He has 5 stolen bases, but he has like elite speed. So we could see him steal a base.
And you mentioned Willie Castro, I think, at third, right? So.
Yeah, Willie Castro at third, yeah.
All right, we got a couple minutes left here, James. Give me a quick home run call.
Home run call. Oof, sheesh. Quick home run call. Not quick. I'll go Eloy Jimenez.
All right. I'm gonna go Juan Soto. I think he left.
That's it. That's a very
good one. All right, let's build our lineup here for everybody there at home. Big slate. We kind of like the mid-tier. Mid-tier guys, who did you want to chase?
Over 84 for sure.
Yeah, over 84, and then Logan Webb?
Yeah, I'm cool with Logan Webb for sure.
Okay. Catcher?
El Gary.
Yeah, that's fine. Sanchez works.
Crazy world we're living in that we're playing El Gary.
It really is. First base. I don't think we cared much for the top tier again, right? We were kind of going down.
Andrew Vaughn. We like Vaughn past that Vaughn Pasquantino or Moose Nolan Jones type of.
Let's go Nolan Jones. I like Nolan Jones. Value there.
He's raking, dude. He's raking. Yeah, he's raking. He's a top prospect. Yeah.
Second base. What do we have here? More value, I feel like, didn't we? Odor?
Yeah, Rogie.
Yeah, Rogie, yep. Because we're going to play Soto.
We're going to also probably play Royce. Why?
Lewis,
Why?
Yeah, Lewis at third or short?
What did we like? We had no spend-ups at third. We had Ryan McMahon. Ooh.
Yeah, let's go McMahon and Lewis there. Let's do that.
Okay.
McMahon, Lewis. Give me 2 outfielders.
Eloy.
Okay, Eloy. I like that.
And then let's see what we got.
We got 5,500 to finish off the lineup.
Luis Robert.
Yeah, Luis Robert. Finish it off. There we go. So we got Ober, Webb, Sanchez, Jones, Odor, McMahon, Lewis, Soto, Jimenez, and Robert. That's our lineup for 13 games. We'll be in the Discord if you have any questions. It will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern.